guys, so I just finished a couple of really great books and I wanted to share them with you, so I'm going to do two different videos and share with you both of the books. So the first book that I'm going to talk about is called Labor Day, and it's by Joyce Maynard. And I had first really heard about this book or seen this book when it came out as a movie, and it stars Kate Winslet and I think Josh Brolin, I'm pretty sure. And I didn't see the movie because I always like to read the books before I see the movie. And I had kind of waited around and I wasn't sure if I would like it. And finally my library had it. Just out of the blue they had it. So I picked it up and I am so glad that I did. So this book is about 240-ish pages. And I finished it in like a day. It was so good. I stayed up late. I could not wait to finish it. And it wasn't like a thriller read, like you typically will read a book in a day. But it just felt so natural. The characters felt natural. The writing felt natural. That it all just really came together. And it was just so easy to sink into and to want to finish and see how it ended. So basically the premise of it is there's a 13-year-old boy and his mother, and his parents are divorced, and he spends time with his dads on Saturday nights, and they go out to friendlies with his new stepmom and stepbrother and half-sister. But that's like the only time he really sees his dad. He doesn't have a lot of involvement with his dad. It's just him and his mother. And it's set, I think, probably in like the late 70s. It doesn't really get too detailed, but it definitely tells you that it's set in the past. And he and his mom go to a store one day, like Kmart, and there's this guy that comes up to him and he says, "Hey, I kind of need some help." So the kid takes him to his mother, and the mother lets this guy with this bleeding leg go home with them, and it turns out that he's a convict. And this is all happening over Labor Day weekend. The whole book takes place over Labor Day weekend. It's only like set in like 6 or 7 days. So right off the bat, you learn that the mother isn't quite all there. That something's a little bit off about her. I mean, she takes this complete stranger home with her and her 13-year-old son. And then as the book progresses, you learn a lot more about Adele, the mother, and really just who she is and what her problems are. And the boy who, Henry, that's his name. Sorry, I couldn't remember. I had to look at the back of the book. You learn about Henry and his problems with his mom and his dad and their relationship, and how he's not very popular in school, and you just learn all about this. And you learn about the convict in the book, and it's just a really interesting story. And I'm not going to tell you, any spoilers or anything, just that it's a really great book, and it doesn't take up a whole lot of time. So it's definitely one that I want to buy. So it's that good that I got it from my library, but I want to buy it. So I'm going to look at my notes here because I wrote down a lot of notes because I just really enjoyed the book. So the whole book takes place, like I said, in 5 or 6 days. It's over Labor Day weekend. And that's the only part of the book that felt a little rushed. I wished it would have been strung out a little bit longer, maybe over the summer or over a couple months. But I understand why the author did it that way. And the only other slightly unbelievable part that I would say is that this mother would take home this man on a whim, who is bleeding, who obviously has some problems, and she knows nothing about him, but she takes him home anyway with her 13-year-old son in the car. But as you learn more about her character and you find out how damaged and upset and just how many problems she has, you can understand that she would do this. And I can even see people doing this in my own life. People don't always make the smartest decisions. They think they're helping someone out and it just doesn't turn out to be the greatest decision, or you do something that everybody in your life would tell you not to do, but she did it anyway. She also has a friend in the book that's kind of in and out. Her name's Evelyn, and she's got a handicapped son named Barry. And that the way Henry reacts with Barry, they're about the same age, but Barry's very heavily handicapped. He's in a wheelchair, and just the way Henry talks to the boy and talks about Evelyn, it gives a little bit of lightheartedness to the book, because the book is a little bit, I don't want to say dramatic, but it's not like a funny or a lighthearted book. There's a bit of romance, and there's you can see how upset Henry is by his parents' divorce and his mother's problems. So that brings a little bit of an element of something different to the book. So I really liked Evelyn and Barry's characters. In fact, I liked all of the characters really well. I like Henry, I like his mother Adele, I like the convict in the book. They just all were written seamlessly, and I really understood each character. To write the perspective of a 13-year-old boy, and that's who's telling the whole story, I have to give the author huge props, because I could not do that, and she makes it seem totally believable. There is a little bit of sex in the book, a little like 13-year-old boy type fantasizing, but that just lent a little bit of reality to his character. So, you know, I could handle that. So, and then the last thing I'll say is that, so you really understood the characters, and you felt for each one of them. You felt like their story was believable. You felt like they were just people that you knew, and I really liked the way the book ended. So many times when you read a good book, it has a horrible ending, and I don't think that's any author's fault necessarily. I think it's really hard to end a good story, and she managed to do a really great job of ending this book. So if you're looking for something good to read, especially a quick read or something over the summer that you know, you don't want it to be as heavy as some books, this is a great book to read. And I'll show it to you again. It is Labor Day by Joyce Maynard. So thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.